So let us look at some sums from fractions, decimals and percent. We will start with number 41, where Jamie is selling a house for 320,000. That is 25% more than the buying price. So we have to take the buying price as the 100%, and as a result a 25% increase over that gives you 125% of the buying price. So this is the selling price 320,000. So we have to divide 320,000 by 125%. So the fraction interpretation of this is 125 upon 100, and when we are dividing it, we are actually multiplying with 100 and dividing by 125. So we do this calculation and we get 256,000. I'm sorry, so it is 256,000 we are getting. So how much under his budget was the house? So his budget was 260,000 and he bought it for 256,000. So it is under budget by the difference between these two amounts. So 260,000 minus 246,000 gives us 4,000. Let's move on to the next sum, number 40. A motorbike is bought for 8,300. It is sold for 5,976. So we can easily find how much is the percentage. So after another 5 years, it is sold for 2,689.20. Find the percentage decrease in the motorbike's price over the first 2 years. So actually you can see that the selling price is lesser than the cost price, which means that there is a loss, and the loss is of amount 8,300 minus 5,976, which over the original price, that is the cost price, multiplied by 100 will give us the loss percent. So the original price is 8,300 and when we calculate this, we get 28% as the answer. Again, find the percentage decrease over the next 5 years. So next 5 years means we are finding with a starting point of 2,000, we are starting from 5,976 and we are going to 2,689.20. So in this case, there is a loss again. So to find the loss percent, we will have to subtract 2,689.20 from 5,976, and this is the amount of loss divided by the original price. Now here also the most interesting thing is, since we are taking only another 5 years, so we are starting from the price of 5,976. So that is in the denominator of the fraction, and multiplied by 100 gives us a 55% loss. Moving on to sum number 39. At the start of the year, 120 girls and 125 boys were having swimming lessons. During the year, the number of girls having swimming lessons increased by 15%. So 120 girls were there plus 15% of 120 girls, and 125 boys were there, that is decreasing by 20%. So it is a minus. Now, how many children in total were having swimming lessons at the end of the year? So if we calculate this, you can see we can reduce it to lower terms. So 120 plus 18 and from here 25 is 100, 525 is 125, so 125 minus 25, so that is 100 more. So what is the total number of students that we are getting? 238. Let's move on to the next sum. So 34 says Natasha is cutting up rope. She has 900 centimeters of rope. Natasha uses 1/5. So if we divide into 5 parts, 1/5 to tie up a parcel. She uses 1/3 of the rope for a craft project. What fraction of the original rope remains? So what fraction is remaining? We have to find out this remaining portion. So as a fraction also. As a result, first we will add up the parts that we already know. So 1/5 plus 1/3. The LCM of 5 and 3 is 15. So we can turn both the fractions with the denominator of 15 as equivalent fractions. And we add them to get 8/15. So this 8/15 portion is this portion which has already been used. So when we take any total in fractions, we take it as a 1. So out of 1, 8/15 portions are gone, which means 7/15 portions are left with us. Now on 35, Natasha cuts up the remaining rope into 4 equal pieces. So 7/15 of 900 meter is the remaining rope. And this is 420 meters. So this remaining rope is being cut into 4 pieces. So divided by 4 because we are cutting it. So finally we will get our answer as 105 meters. Moving on to the next one, number 32. In the second round of a gymnastic competition, James is given a score of 2/11. His score is later revised to account for the difficulty and his new score is 2 whole number 2 by 11 times 1 whole number 1 by 12. So what is his new score? So we have to simplify this fraction in order to find it out. So with one by one we will turn them into improper fractions. So 2 times 11 is 22 plus 2 over 11, and this is 1 times 12, 12 plus 1 over 12. So that is 24 by 11 times 13 by 12, and you will see that 12 and 24 have common factor of 12. So 12 divided by 12 and 24 divided by 12, and the remaining parts we have to multiply them with the same side, numerator with the numerator, denominator with denominator. So 2 times 13 by 11 times 1, 26 upon 11. This in mixed fraction. To find out, we have to divide it. 11 2s are 22 and 4 is remainder. So 2 whole number 4 over 11. Now in 33, James scores 7.5 in the second round. His score is again revised. His score is now 7.5 divided by 2 upon 3. So we will write the new score 7.5 divided by 2 upon 3, and we will simplify it. So 7.5 is 15 over 2 divided by 2 upon 3. So when we are dividing, remember we have to multiply with the reciprocal. So 15 over 2 multiplied by 3 over 2, that gives 45 over 4. What is his new score? So this is the new score. Now we will move on to sum number 26. So in sum number 26, Raj put the cake in the oven at 4 p.m. He took the cake out of the oven after 1.5 hours. So from 4 p.m. we are counting 1 hour, which is 5 p.m. and then 30 minutes more. So your answer is 5:30 p.m. The next one that we are going to do is sum number 23. You are saving money to buy a new bicycle that costs 155.75 pounds. In sum number 22, in a football team, tight end scores 11.15, running back scores 11.75 and wide receiver scores 1.05 less than the running back. So together for the tight end it's 11.15 plus for the running back 11.75 plus for the wide receiver it is 1.05 less than the running back. So 11.75 minus 1.05. When we total it and subtract 1.05, finally we will get the answer 33.6. For number 23, you are saving money to buy a new cycle that costs 155.75 pounds. So cost of the cycle is given. You have 30 pounds and plan to save 5 pounds each week. Your aunt decides to give you an additional 10 pounds each week. So each week you are getting 10 pounds plus 5 pounds, that is 15 pounds each week. And you need 155.75 minus 30 pounds because you already have 30 pounds. So you actually need 125.75 pounds. This you need to earn, and you are earning 15 pounds every week. So number of weeks you will need is only the answer of your division, that the total you have to earn divided by how much you are earning each week. So when you do this division, you get the answer 9. So you will need 9 weeks for completing. How many more weeks would you have to save to buy a new cycle that costs 203.89 pounds? So this is also a similar case, a very similar case of calculation, but more we are going. So where we are here the cost of the cycle is completely different. So we have to find out how much is the number of weeks we need for a cycle of 203.89 pounds. So number of weeks will be divided by 15 again, which will come to be 12 weeks. So you need a total of 12 weeks for buying a cycle of this cost, and previously you needed 9 weeks. So how many more weeks would you need? That is 12 minus 9. You need 3 more weeks for buying this bicycle. Now moving on to number 20, the table shows the portions of a family budget that are spent on several expenses. So housing expense 2/5 is spent, food is 4/9 in this way. How many times more is the expense for housing than for automobile? So we are comparing housing and automobile. How many times more is the expense for housing than the expense for automobile? So multiplying by what factor can we get the result of the fraction of housing? That is our question. So here, in order to find out, we have to use inverse relation, that is divide. So 2/5 is what we have to find as a fraction, and 1/15 is the smaller part. So the bigger part is what multiplied to the smaller part. When we do the division and we find out that it is 6 times. So the answer is 6 times. For second part, how many times more is the expense for food than for recreation? So the food expense is more, so 4/9 divided by the smaller part, so that we find out how many times of the smaller part gives us the larger part. So when we do the division, we find out that it's a fraction, and when we turn it to mixed fraction, it gives us 17 whole number 7/9. In question number 17, we want to know the area of the banner. So the length of the banner is 4 whole number 2/3 feet, that is 14/3 feet, and the width of the banner is 1.5 feet, that is 3/2 feet. So when we multiply and find the area, length times width, 3 and 3 is reduced, and 14 divided by 2 gives us 7, so it is 7 square feet. Now for question number 18, we are adding 1/4 feet border on each side. So the length will be increased by 1/4 and 1/4 from both sides. And again the width will also be increased by 1/4 and 1/4 on both sides. As you can see that we have calculated the length and the width with the borders. Now to find the area of the banner, again we multiply length and width. So 31/6 multiplied by 2 gives us, after reducing, 31/3, and in the mixed fraction format it gives us 10 whole number 1/3 square feet.